welcome back to Factorio Space Age. About to just launch ourselves up to the platform. While we think about what we're doing, just send a few more deliveries. Send that. Good. Perfect. 2. Platform 2. Okay. What else do we want? Maybe some more inserters. That'd be fine. It would be helpful to have more. We always just get more stuff. We're gonna get more stuff when we get more stuff here. We can just keep on sending more things up, but if the platform doesn't even go, that's gonna be a problem. We will deal with that as we're here. These can never have too many inserters. Also, probably be good to get different guns here made. I don't know if we would have one of these available. It needs a piece of wood. Try to get some wood. Here's some wood. We have wood in our nothing pile? Yes. I'll turn off the logistics for now. We can safely do this and put everything in boxes for our leaving here. Oh. There's a combat shotgun. Do we need any other kinds of weapons here? Submachine gun, a Tesla gun, rocket launcher, flamethrower. Shotgun seems to really be the one we mostly use. That's fine. Okay. Let's put our stuff in boxes. Specifically these boxes. These are the boxes for things. Some regular ammo and a pistol. Not that we even really have all the ammo available in the other spots, but you know, it's whatever. Also, we can send another stack up with us since we're going to be taking the other rocket. You can take that, deliver that. Then we will travel up on this one. Okay. The amount of rockets that we've launched up to the platform here, it's been quite a few. As ready as we're going to be here. Although we still do need to go to the other planets. Pick up some supplies there. But in theory, as we make our way up into space, this should be our trip to the next planet. And again, one of the many cargo bays here. So large, we can't even zoom out all the way before it turns to the map view. Look at that. We got the rockets. Looks like they're still not quite completely full, since they're still moving. Or maybe, no, these seem to be just chilling. Only making some rockets because we are a little bit low on the explosives part of things, because we're a little bit low on the ice part of things, because we're a little bit low on the icy rocks part of things. The carbon and the sulfur are doing fine though. Iron is full. Don't need copper for anything else either anyways. And we're filling up on the other kinds of rocks. So we kind of still do need some kind of system for dealing with the rocks. But as it currently stands, it's probably fine. So let us get going. Maybe. I don't know if 6 thrusters is too many. We don't want to go too quickly. But we also have a weight of 2,120 tons, so let's turn off some of the thrusters. We can do that by closing off some of these. That'll get us down to 3 thrusters functioning. We'll start with that. If it doesn't move, we can turn on the other thrusters. It's gonna be fine. We also have 6 tanks full of both things here. Those are at least, in theory, work. Let's see the theory in practice. But where do we want to actually go first, is the other question. If we want these rocket turrets, I think we need to go to Volcanus. We need to go to Fulgora for some stuff. I don't think we need to go to Gleba for anything, luckily. The mess that is Gleba, all the time. At least it has repair bots now. Fix that. Come back here for science later, though. That's alright. What do we even make here? We got the more fancy inserters. The carbon fiber. Okay. Let's just go to Volcanus first. I mean, where's that even on the space map? Where's we going? Volcanus, then Fulgora, and then Aquila, I guess. No perfect connection between these two. That's alright. We go to Volcanus. Add station, Volcanus. And go. Okay. So how we going? Oh, it's all going. I guess they have a little bit of fuel inside them. Okay. Is this a problem? We're going at 100 kilometers an hour. 110. Where's the rocks? Where's the bigger chunks? We got our gun turrets. That's what we have. We're slowing down. Have we run out of fuel in the second ones? They're about out of thruster fuel. That's perfect. If we're still moving, I'm honestly fine with that. As long as we can just get through here. I guess also the question is, does speed actually influence how many rocks show up? Because we're going quickly. It's not like the rocks are flinging at us at super speed or anything. As long as we get where we're going, I'm fine with it. 2,100 tons. Thrust 306. We're slowing down a little bit. Down to like 79. That's alright. How much of the tanks is this using? Not too much. You would think it would be slightly off balance like this, but should be alright. Look at all these chunks. Look at all these guys. We got ammo. Let's pick up more ammo. We got the ammo ready. And then the grabbers are just grabbing. They're having a great time. Okay. We're back up to 90. I'm not exactly sure how the speed keeps changing. Could be based on where we are and everything. I don't know. How are we doing on ammo? Gaps in the belts, but they're doing alright. Look at all these. Look at all these rocks. This could be more quantity. We also have a larger area to defend out in front of us, like this. Since it is also larger. That's also something to consider. Looks like I'm gonna say the piercing rounds are doing better. I don't know. Seems fine. There's still plenty of ammo on the belts, it looks like. So, as long as that just keeps going, we should be good. Has he used up the excess ammo? Also no. So that just keeps on getting added on here. And then immediately going up and past here. So any empty slots are just quickly filled with new ammo. So that's nice. Okay, now we're stopped here. So while we're stopped, it's going to be dealing with all this stuff. Okay. Down to Volcanus. Do we even have the rocket guys going? I think we have enough supplies here we can actually just drop ourselves down here so we can actually look at it. Volcanus. Let's see what the recipes for stuff is too. If we go over to here and make a requester chest with the things. Might even not even have it here. We'll drop down. Okay. Drop to planet Volcanus. Okay. Grab our Volcanus supplies. One thing that we didn't lose when we blew up earlier was our planetary supplies. Those always get put in boxes next to the rocket. Okay. There you go. Another regular pistol. Not that we're actually fighting anything here anyways, but that's fine. Whenever we also get a pistol back, that's fine. Right, storage box, you can have regular pistol. Do you have an even lower quality storage box somewhere? Whatever. Pistol box. Low quality ammo box. Got some piercing round magazines here, I guess. Not that we're fighting any of the worms here, but, you know. Alright. So we need for this. Or if we're even in the right place. Rocket turrets. They need the carbon fiber. Steel gears, pressing units, carbon fiber, rocket launchers. Alright. And the carbon fiber, that is actually... That's over here on Gleba, isn't it? Yep. There's our box of carbon fiber. Alright. Alright. Well, I suppose that's over there then. So the stuff we're going to bring from here, launch up, it's going to be foundries and big mining drills and stuff. Not that we can really do too much with foundries without the calcite. I suppose we do have the calcite up on the space station, so technically we could be collecting that and dropping it down or something, but then that is another cog in the machine and all that, so yeah. Let's send some big mining drills. Also not sure if we're mining anything there, so and a couple foundries. Deliver these up. Do we want any artillery turrets? Probably not. Because the artillery shells need tungsten plates. So they're not too useful without having tungsten plates. That's okay. Okay. So let's deliver what we can from here. Anything else we want from here? Probably not. Yeah, the foundries are only going to do so much for us. We can put the transport belt constructions in there, I suppose. At least something. We can also move big mining drills over to other places too. Do some big mining. Since we're here. So we do need to go to Gleba. Great. Alright. It's not the quickest one because they don't have all of the speed modules going. That's okay. Wait a little bit while we think about our actions. Is also doing 20s. My capacity 5. Alright. We're just gonna put a regular box here. Have that, put in everything we want here. Foundries, big mining drills. These will go when they're ready. We'll set up platform request for all that. Request some big mining drills, like 100. Import from there, and request some foundries, like, how many? 60? How many do we have in this box? 60? That might be too many. See if we can get any beacons set up here. Speed this up a little bit. Also, do we need to use the productivity modules here? What are we doing for making stuff? Also, do we have the supplies we need for making stuff? Also, do we have any speed modules? Lots of questions here. I don't think we have any speed module production. It's kind of just all going. We do have a few speed modules though, so in theory they could be here. And there are some speed modules. Speed module 1s. It's something. Let's just go over here for making these assembly machines. A couple of those. Do we have any beacons? If we request stuff, it's going to It was a whole pile of things. Perhaps we should craft the beacons first. See if we have any space for beacons is another thing here. One here. That's pretty much it. Might be able to reach from over here, maybe? All these pipes are a little bit in the way, but that's okay. Speed modules. Just make it faster. That's the main limiting factor here, it seems. As long as everything keeps on melting up more stuff to go into the foundries and everything, I guess. Should be fine. We could also set up an actual machine for making these speed modules, but again, work with what we got here. Okay. It's a little bit faster. Energy consumption, also pretty much fine. As long as everything keeps going. Whenever we show up, it just starts needing to do things again. It can be a little bit excessive for some of these setups. Especially getting Glebo up and running again. We're probably just going to grab the carbon fiber there. I guess we would need to make everything there with the carbon fiber. We could possibly grab the carbon fiber, drop it down at Fulgora maybe, to make the rocket turrets. We should be able to make it there. Doesn't say any requirement for constructing. It's probably okay. Just need some carbon fiber. Just launch a whole bunch of carbon fiber. I think we also need carbon fiber for Spinotron or something. If we ever want to make one of those. Where's that in here? Let's search for it. There it is. Yeah, that needs the rocket turrets, which in effect needs the carbon fiber. And a fish. And uranium. Wild. Portable fission reactors. What do we have? Menu. Portable fission reactors. There's better ones. Let's get to that. Okay. We got our beacon. Can fit here. And not here. It's something. It's a little bit quicker. It's going at what? Plus 210% speed? Could probably do some more underground shenanigans here, fit another beacon. Can't really move that around too much. Can maybe do more underground stuff over here, fit another beacon here. That might work. As long as it can go further. Okay. Space there. And space there. Perfect. Beacon. Beacon. Now we need more speed module 2s being made. Fill those all up. Fill all those all up. There's some foundries. I'm sending 5 per. It's pretty wild. It's just a matter of speed of producing the required rocket parts by the time it's ready to do stuff. Certain level, more speed becomes unnecessary, because it takes long enough for the rocket to actually launch. At that point, you just need more rockets. More silos here. That's alright. As long as it's sending what we're using here. That's the plan. Okay. Anything else we want from here? I don't think it's really worth it to send any of the tungsten out for anything that just does. Obviously could. That'd require other processes. But yeah. 3 of these beacons should be about right. There's also like the speed module 3s and everything and other everything, but These are fine. You get lower quality when using speed modules. It's fine. Not really currently worrying about quality for anything. Could be useful in some circumstances here. And how is the space platform doing? It's not getting any copper. It's still full. Iron is here. Ammo is full of rockets. Fantastic. Got new rocks, which means we got a little bit more ice made. Full on fuels. Got too many of these rocks. We get into a situation where we might need to deal with that. Speed module. Okay. More things are being sent. A couple more. We even need this many foundries. We can only use like 9 of them effectively per world. It's about right. And backup foundries too, I suppose. That's okay. Oh yeah. Technically, with calcite from orbit, we can also just have the platform not throw away the extra calcite. But mostly focused on platform technology here. Yeah, that's a lot of that kind of rock here. That's a potential problem. We need to set up some kind of area here with the recyclers. Deal with some rocks. We also just throw them into space with other things. Automated way to make that actually work, though. We've just got things coming along the belts the entire time. Have to consider the entire way all the way around for how much is on the belts. Or just a turn it on and off as necessary kind of situation. We'll see. And the recyclers, those are made over on magnetic. Yep. Okay. Anything else we need from here? Go to the research section and see back where we were. Metallurgy, we got the artilleries. Cliff explosives from here. Should probably send some cliff explosives. So processing cold liquefaction is just a thing. Rail support foundations. Also on the deep parts of the ocean oil. Well, yeah, we would just have that. Doesn't require anything, it's just an effect. Elevated rails. Those are just made with regular stuff. Okay. Relevant. New module 3s. Turbo transport belts could be something. Got some cliff explosives. Calcite. Alright. We'll send some cliff explosives. Those will be good. Make cliff explosives per rocket. 20. Meh. Platform. I'd like you to request some cliff explosives. Can use these on all the different planets too, so having a good supply of those is probably not the worst idea. Like 200. It's gonna be a lot more launches, that's alright. Okay. I'm getting what we need here from everywhere we can get it. Huh. We also have all the sciences, but I'm not currently worried about that. Can't really make more use of more science until we get all the stuff over here with Aquila. It's most of the reds. We got all the other yellows for infinite researches. And the electric 3 before 4, which is not technically an infinite, but close enough. Might just grab that when we are on our next trip around, grabbing all the sciences for everything. That's alright. Okay. Yeah. Probably not going to bring any artillery. Just because the ammo creation is requiring the other stuff here. Trying to ship up any tungsten or tungsten plates or anything. A little bit expensive. In terms of just sheer weight, really. There's a lot to do all these rockets. Keep on casting and all that. We limited on anything besides it just going? Doesn't look like it. Also looks like we have about the full speed here. That's nice. Tungsten carbide for speed module 3. Spoilage for efficiency module 3s. Then biter eggs for productivity module 3s. And superconductors for the quality module 3s. Yeah. Send it. Literally. How much carbon fiber do we want to ship up once we get over there? Let's see here. We're going to be making quite a few rocket turrets. It's 20 per. It's quite a lot then. We got requests for a lot of those up top there on the space station. Just like ammo, not. Just getting belts and stuff. Wild. That needs another 20. That's not very much. Rocket capacity 25. That's not very many either. If you really want to use all the best stuff, you really need quite the interplanetary system going. Anyways. Anything else we need carbon fiber for? Let's see that from here somewhere. Carbon fiber. That is finished. Tool belts, rocket turrets, spidertrons. Yep, that's pretty much it. No. So we need to make 20 carbon fiber per rocket turret. How much carbon fiber can we ship up per? In here anywhere? Carbon fiber, rocket capacity 500. That's pretty good. I'll work with that. This is empty. Turn on this bad boy. Get the cliff explosives going up. Yeah, how many rocket turrets do we need? At least 50 up here. And some extra backup ones would not be a bad idea, in case things blow up, maybe. Hopefully they don't, but, you know, things could happen. So let us see what we can do here. It's going to be 50 of those. It's basically 50 times 20. 500 per stack. 5 stacks. Stacks 100 is pretty good. 50 times 20 would be 1,000. And do 500 per. We set up like 3 rockets, honestly. Any more than that from that planet is asking a bit much. See if we even have that set up to work correctly. It's a bit of a mess out here. Where's what we got? Yeah, I think we've sent what we need from here as we finish with this. All our requests for all kinds of things. If it's not already being sent to the silo, it's not going to be sent up because it's not available. Also, importing from here, it's got different requests for where it's coming from too. Very specific. Yeah. Only 20 cliff explosives at a time is pretty unfortunate. Depends how many cliffs there are in other places, but I also need more cliff explosives for if we want to expand anywhere on other planets either, so it all works out. Get what we can here. What else are we thinking? Make some spidertrons. We need to go back and get fish, though, for that. So, yeah. There's a whole bunch of rockets. At least with things that don't require things from other places, we can actually kind of work on it. It does also use calcite, so again, technically, we could be collecting this in space instead of jettisoning everything. But then we need to consider how much space we have for more stuff up here on the platform. Currently got plenty of space, even with all the things that we're hanging on to here. Gonna put it all in boxes. It's gonna be great. Okay. And I think we really need to do something about these rocks right now. What could we do with all these? We need to split it onto a belt that is jettisoning things, essentially. Where are those two at? We have this one here, throwing away calcite, and this one here, throwing away copper. Yeah, when we need to just get rid of some stuff here, we can make it happen. This takes a bit of effort. Space here. Send some stuff off here. Then right here. And that'll start throwing some rocks off of here. Rotate. Shift rotate. That'll double the rocks getting out of here system. We can even, if we set this upper priority. I don't think we have much success with only sending one thing off of one side of this. We have a system over here which gets one thing off one side of this by taking multiple requirements. Goes through here, goes through here, goes through here. I mean, this is just the moving the different sides thing. This is the one that splits it, and then this one splits it around again. I need 2 for that. There's space for 2 for that over here. Not the way it currently is. I'm gonna do something though. Let's tear out this system. Give this here, here, here. What's it look like over here? Let's see if we can replicate it somehow. It goes in, it's over, and the other one goes in, and the other one goes out. Okay. Over. The other one goes in, the other one goes out. Go over here. And this also needs to go over here, technically. Is in the way for that? A little bit. And also needs to get the copper over here for removal. That's only going to get to that one. Let's get to both of them. And this one, up a priority, something specific thing we're trying to get rid of. Okay. And then, do we have more space here? Look at that. I guess this is just going to. We have one more space. So we're gonna go this way. Okay. So that's going to throw off the required different rock here. Is it going to get rid of the copper at any point? So throw in the rocks because they're closer. It's going from there. It's going from there. It mostly functions. Then we want to turn this off. And just get rid of it entirely. And that won't affect this at all. Okay. This is the getting rid of some of the rocks system here. We can set the splitter here for a specific kind of rock or everything. You're just going to get inserted off of here. Or just kind of out of rocks. Another pass. Get rid of some more. only splits off half of the rocks-ish. Half of the rocks minus the ones that don't fit, I suppose. It siphons off enough. Okay. Have we sent everything we need from here? We got everything we asked for. Alright. Suppose that's my cue. Storage chest. Everything from the storage chests. Everything we need from here. Both explosives. You can have here. Extra. It's back up to the space platform. Okay. That mostly works. We're doing what we can here. Well, we're just getting up here. We're doing getting rid of the rocks. So we're at a good point now. So then we can turn off this. Let's just go to split these, and it's fine. Let's just go normal. We can put this back here when we need to. Okay. Well, that should work. Still have a good chunk of the rocks, but at least there's space for the other ones on here now. And here we are. Perfect. Okay. So now, we stop going to here. Add station. Gleba. And away we go. Let's watch the tank here. We're doing mostly fine on ammo. There's still technically a slot because it's been constantly shooting while we've been out here. Let's make our way to the next spot. I definitely think that the 3 rockets seems to be enough, so probably not going to try to go excessively quickly. I feel like that would be a recipe for just slamming into all of the asteroids at ridiculous speed. This is at least working. How much health do these guys have anyways? These ones have 400 health. They just get vaporized. Then we just pick up all the chunks. Put them on the belt. It goes to places, gets turned into things to go and defeat more asteroids. Not entirely sure if it's completely self-sustainable, but it's doing its best. And that's what counts, right? I have to fill it up on these guys again. There's different, like, sections. It's mostly just these, though. We're not using quite as much iron and copper as the other stuff. Let's set this back up here again. And up a priority filter the specific one. There you go. Let's keep on chucking more of the rocks away. Everything's working out. Okay. Looking good. The question is, how we can prioritize these? Priority targets. Somewhere which targets we picked if multiple are in range. These will just shoot anything. Those are also just the closest one in. These ones, priority targets, ignore unlisted targets. Might be a good plan. So we're going to be using the rockets. Take a little bit more work to make than the ammo. We might want them to just prioritize the big ones. Also, they're weaker to rockets and explosions and stuff. I think there's plenty of time for the guns to shoot. You see they're not active constantly. Should be okay. Speed's up to almost 100 again. Could even possibly cut another engine or two. Thrust and all that. Dealing with it still here, though. That's alright. Okay. So yeah. I'd call this working, essentially. Next question. Do we need to go down to Gleba? Hopefully not. Stop at Gleba. Here's Gleba. There's no power for anything. Well, that's also a problem. You guys ran out of rocket fuel to move over there with the robots because you stopped making rocket fuel because you stopped making the things. Well, we can't exactly make the rocket solid go without any energy. Guess we're going down to Gleba. Make it work. Make it make sense. Next time. Goodbye.